Hello, I'm Mad Uncle Morgan, and if the piece of paper is to be believed, today is Ritual Safety 201. We've covered physical safety aspects. Quite simply, don't set yourself on fire. Don't stab yourself. Now we have focus on magic. And when people get into magic, one of the things they like to do is to invoke various gods. And they create rituals around this. And there are some things that I've watched people do that make me worried. Even if I'm a safe distance away from the accident that's about to happen. One of the things I've seen people do is, well, we're going to do a working with a war god because I'm upset with somebody. And if one war god is good, then 5 will be totally awesome! No. You don't get awesomeness when you summon 5 war gods. What you do get is basically hit in the head. This is not something you want to do. I know it's tempting. I know that you think it'll be awesome. But when dealing with gods, it's better to focus with just one. The more you can limit the amount of energies you have, different energies you have to deal with, the better off you are. Okay? One war god is bad enough on its own. 2, you're asking for trouble. 3, I'm not sure why you want to fuck yourself that hard. 4, wow, you just want to nuke your entire block. 5, oh, you really don't like your world that much. Okay, go for it, but don't tell me that I did not warn you. Another thing is that people have a tendency to do, and this one is based on the lack of research. They decide that summoning 2 gods, a bunch of gods is wonderful, and then they inadvertently, mistakenly summon 2 enemies into the same room. For instance, you can summon Horus, and you can summon Set. And basically, what occurs here is you end up with a lot of chaos and destruction, and if you're not real careful, you're going to get hit by both of them. So try to avoid summoning enemies of one another. Gods have enemies. Research who they are, and try not to evoke them both at the same time. This also applies to mixing symbol systems. A lot of people like mixing symbol systems. Oh, I'm going to take this from Wicca, and this from Buddhism, and this from Christianity, and this from Satanism, and blah, 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 blah. And what happens is, if you do not understand what you're doing, you basically get crushed. Happens. Mixing and matching energy. This is something that is professional level. And when you're a beginner, or even an intermediate person, avoid it. People who can successfully mix and match energies so they actually work have been working systems for decades. It takes a lot of knowledge to mix and match symbols. Another thing you don't want to do is you don't want to basically call upon gods and energies that emphasize your existing character traits. If you are aggressive, you don't want to summon Set, you don't want to summon Horus, who are aggressive, because it amplifies what you are already. I know it sounds like a good idea, but it's not. What you need to actually do is try to find things that complement and balance you out. A sure way to go insane is to continuously amplify your own character traits, even if you think they're good. Okay? You can be logical and all that, and summon a whole bunch of, logical gods. And next thing you know, you're like Sheldon Cooper, okay? Who, he's great fun to watch on TV, but you don't actually want to be him. And finally, one of the worst things you can do is actually get what you wish for. Oh yes, it's awesome to get what you wish for. Oh, I wish for success, women, power, money, whatever. And what actually happens is that you end up regretting it. My case, my favorite example is my own universe. No, I have done lots and lots of ritual with the goal of actually making money as a writer. Problem is that after years of doing this, what I've succeeded in accomplishing is placing myself in a position where I have to make a living as a writer, where I have no other real options. Well, I mean, I could go to work for Burger King or McDonald's. Yeah, I might kill somebody. So you gotta be careful about what you wish for. Okay? Now, I will admit, this one is way harder to avoid than you would think. And going the other extreme where you don't do any magic for any practical or development reason, at that point in time you just have to ask, why are you into this stuff if you're not going to use it? And it doesn't matter whether you're using it for material changes or whether it's spiritual and mental changes, okay? Just being around the energies is going to change your life. So, you need to aim this stuff someplace, but you really need to stop and think about certain things. Like a love spell, you can end up with somebody who obsesses over you. Crazy stalker. Power, success. It's real fun being a boss, okay? It's a lot of work, and maybe you would be happier just being a smuck employee. Heaven knows I was. So yeah, those are the things you need to think about. You You need to avoid invoking multiple gods, especially if they cover the same area. Gotta be aware of gods who are enemies. You gotta be careful about mixing and matching. Try not to hammer on traits you already have. And be careful what you wish for, because you may get it. Mad Uncle Morgan, have a good evening.